The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All right, time for a fact that makes your brain just go. Now, this comes in the umbrella of what do you hate about your job, because 57% of Chicagoans says this thing with their job doesn't work anymore. Quote. So let's go through some of the things that you said. Let's see here. We have a check-in from 224 that says, I work on an undisclosed TV show in Chicago. Today we work with a guy who never remembers his lines. Help us.
Oh.
Now, I instantly guessed the bear with him on the text line. He said, no, way more boring. The show, that is, not me. So my next guess was a show I like, but I just thought I'm going through all the Chicago shows filmed here. Chicago Fire's up next.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love Chicago PD, but I'm kind of bored with that now because they killed off all the good characters. So I'm going to keep going with this guy until we find the show.
And because the police are super nice now, right?
Yeah, they're nice. And, Voight doesn't go and do the really bad things that, like, the Daily Police used to do.
Oh, that's tough.
I was an
I'm so
extra on
sorry.
Chicago Med, so I would guess Chicago Med because there was someone who didn't know their lines.
What'd you do on Chicago Med?
They made me some kind of I was never seen, which really pissed me off. But I got paid to be there the whole day, and they have gourmet food. That was the best part. But I was in some kind of medical situation where I had to pretend I was a nurse.
Oh.
But you can't see me on TV, so it didn't matter.
Oh.
It was very, very disappointing. But I got paid.
Okay. How much? You mind if you say how much you got made?
Yeah, I made I think you make $130 for the day, but it always lasts longer than 8 hours. And then you get double time. And at the time, I also got paid for getting a COVID test. Like, they gave you the test, and they paid you for it.
What a scam.
And if they use your car, you get paid even more. But they didn't use my car. So
There was that guy in the burbs that went to jail for making like $8 million on COVID tests.
That's right.
That's how he did it. Chris checked in from 219 and said what he hates about his job. He says, I work for Amazon. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Well, Chris is a common name.
Okay, Chris. Christopher, Chrissy, you might call him. I don't know.
Maybe.
He works for Amazon. We're not allowed to listen to music or wear headphones at work, but I found a way around it. I stream Q101 on my laptop, which you can do very easily. You can find us anywhere you need us.
But not being able to listen at work is awful.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
gotta have music.
so it's the only way you can make it through his morning, listening to Brian and Kenzie. Oh, yeah, in case two, he says.
Oh, my goodness, I'm included. That's so nice.
Look at that, very nice. Yeah, I don't know what he does exactly at Amazon. I don't know if that people do that, but we appreciate you struggling to listen that way. And if you absolutely can't, the podcast is there for you, the new Brian and Kenzie podcast, Q101.com, and anywhere you get your podcast for later in the day. So there's a couple more things in, clocking in, which kind of relates to what's going to come here. Scheduled meetings is the worst.
Yes.
People that want to have a meeting over something that could be an email.
Exactly.
Or a text.
Yep.
Because they just want to kill their day.
That drives
they
me
want to
nuts.
go through there and schedule a meeting and talk, and everybody chit-chats for a while, and, I don't know. Maybe you get muffins and it's okay. I don't know.
I find there to be few more satisfying things than a productive meeting. If you have a clear start and end mission, I love it. I love a good productive meeting. If you're there to hang out, I'm not interested.
Well, also, sometimes the meetings you leave and you go, yeah, great ideas.
Right.
And then they never
nothing
get
happens.
yeah,
You
nothing
gotta go
happens.
do them. That's the hard part.
There's
Yes.
always one person who always keeps asking questions in a meeting. That's what drives me nuts. Like, the meeting should be ending. Wait a minute. So you mean? And they start clarifying and asking stuff, and I just, are you pointing to Case?
No.
No, Carrie, you know what we call that here?
What?
We call that a Lauren O'Neill.
Lauren, it's over. We hit the out.
Yeah. All right. Here, Laura's got another one. All right.
Okay, so let's get to the fact right now that makes your brain go. So most Chicagoans, 57%, say this no longer works for them in their job environment, their career. Now, it may not be mind-blowing to you when I say this, is they think 9 to 5 is done.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be 9 to 5. Now, I've never worked 9 to 5 in my life.
Nor have I.
So I don't even know what it's like.
Seems like a long day.
I did one time. I thought of getting out of this business. And I said, I need to look at something else. And I'm not going to say exactly what I did, but I shadowed somebody for a day. Okay, I'll tell you what I did. I shadowed someone doing medical device sales. Mm-hmm. And they said because you can make so much money doing it.
Yeah.
This is about 8 years ago, I think. And I went and did this and got up at 6 a.m. and put on a suit.
Ooh.
And got in a car and followed this person around their sales job for 12 hours. And even though we work 12 hours on this show a day, we really do, by the way, despite maybe not sounding like that sometimes, we really are. I came home and felt like I used to see my dad come home and take his tie off.
Yep.
And then like undo his shirt right when he got in the door and grab a Miller High Life. That's what my dad used to do every day coming home. Yeah. I was like, wow, that was work. I was working.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I know. I get it.
So I feel for the people out there that have this like 9 to 5, or really, I don't know what that is anymore. It's probably like more like 7 to 6 these days.
Yeah.
Trying to make that dollar. But most people, I get it because the pandemic, people went from home. For me personally, I have to go somewhere to work. If I have to work from home, it's not going to work because I just can't focus at home. The TV's right there.
But I was just talking to my friend about this because my really good friend just started a fully remote job. He's got no office. He barely has a boss. He's doing purely remote work. And we were talking about how easy it is for, I think, people our age to do that. We're very productive people when we're left alone.
Case is 25 years old for those people new to the show.
Yes, and I do think there's just it's an age thing. Managers in the current market don't understand, like, hey, if you leave a 25-year-old alone, they can actually do a lot for the day. You don't need to look over their shoulder the entire time. Okay.
That was just me acting like your manager for a second. but I can't, maybe because I'm that way. I'm old school. But I also, when I come in this studio, our beautiful Brian and Kenzie studios, I get electricity. I feel electric, like Travis Kelce says. This is electric.
It's why I love you.
They wanted me to broadcast from home during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we tried it once, and I said, no way. I'll come in. I'll risk this disease that's killing people. At that time, it really was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I got to be here. I got to see the screens, the buttons. I got to pick up the phones. It's a better quality show than working from home. Those people that work from home, in radio, they have technology to do it, but I don't feel it's the same energy. God bless if you can do it. I can't. I have to be here. And I wish I could be that 25-year-old person that could work from home with and they get stuff done.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't.
No, people get stuff done.
No
people do
way.
their jobs.
I'd be going out. I'd set up a hockey net in my parking space. And I'd be shooting shots all day. There's no way I can focus at work.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Not that long ago on the show, we decided that Oprah would be in the Mount Rushmore of Chicago icons. Mm-hmm. We had, let's see, who did we have in their case? We had Michael Jordan.
We had Michael Jordan. We had Oprah.
We
had Tom Skilling.
Because he was retiring.
And Billy Corgan.
And that was our Mount Rushmore.
If only there was a mountain somewhere here, we could carve those in.
Oh, God, I'd love to. Yeah. I'd love to grab my pickaxe and do that. Yeah.
We can go down, what's the park about an hour from here south?
The place you walked
Stone something? I'm drawing.
That's Stony Island.
St. Patty's Day still affecting my brain.
Yeah.
Something.
What the hell is it called? Anyway, we could do that. and of course, Lauren came in and says, can't we put 7 people on there? No, we can't, Lauren. It's a Mount Rushmore for a reason, only 4. That's what get down. A lot of people were controversial in our decision to put Oprah on there. Very upset about it.
I know. I thought Oprah was universally beloved. A Tom Hanks-like figure that everybody likes her. They might like her for different reasons or from different eras, but everybody likes her. Turns out, people hate Oprah.
Well, no. It could have been a loud minority that hate her.
A small vocal minority of
people. Yeah, which affects our elections. Including on the Mount Rushmore.
Which day's election day, as a matter of fact. All right.
So Oprah had a nighttime TV special last night. I'm guaranteed the ratings were through the roof. We don't know this morning yet. It was on ABC, which delayed Case watching The Bachelor with his girlfriend.
That's right. I turned on ABC 7 at 7 o'clock, ready to go with the Women Tell All live penultimate episode of the season. And Oprah's selling me weight loss drugs, basically. I was very confused.
It was interesting. When you hear her open here, it is very emotional and heartfelt for what Oprah went through in her life. Yeah. And think about all the jokes that were made about her weight. And here's her talking about in the open of the show.
I took on the shame that the world gave to me. For 25 years, making fun of my weight was national sport. 1990, I saw myself on the cover of TV Guide's best and worst dressed list. And I remember thinking, oh, look, there I am on the cover. Mr. Blackwell, the tastemaker of the time, called me bumpy, lumpy, and downright dumpy.
Jeez.
I was ridiculed on every late night talk show for 25 years and tabloid covers for 25 years. So, in an effort to combat all the shame, I starved myself for nearly 5 months and then wheeled out that wagon of fat. And after losing 67 pounds on a liquid diet, the next day I started to gain it back.
That's what Oprah went through. So think about that next time you make a joke. You know what I mean? About that.
Well, Oprah's body is a very odd thing because she referenced it there, how she wheeled out all of the fat that she lost on a wagon, which she later said is her biggest regret because she feels like it gave people that are struggling with their weight a very negative image of what it's like to gain weight.
Yeah.
Right?
But also, she's pivoted back hard the other direction, it seems like.
Well, she's been in Weight Watchers Weight Watchers. A Weight Watchers spokesman for about 7 years.
Up until just recently.
Yeah.
She gave it up because she started taking Ozempic. And she talked about that on the show of how it helped her. And, she looks tremendous. She looks amazing
fantastic.
right now. And we've talked about that on the show. It was a diabetes drug, and then there was a big shortage of it because a lot of celebrities started taking it to lose weight quickly, and it turns out it works. I know people that are not celebrities have taken it, and I think it makes you feel really nauseous. You can't eat.
Yeah.
So, that's a problem. I don't want, I'd rather be 15 pounds heavier. That's me, though.
But that's only 15. Most people are taking it to lose a lot more than 15 pounds.
Well, I'm obese by the government standards.
Which shows you how stupid their standards are.
Yeah.
You are
Did Biden
not obese.
call you to tell you you're obese?
You were like, hey, let me tell you something, man. You big. You're big.
No,
That's my Biden impression.
I was
don't know.
dating a bodybuilder, and they deemed him obese. So those numbers are dumb.
Well, I'm 6'4". I'm 236 right now. I think I'm supposed to weigh like 207 or 204. That ain't happening.
No.
I was that for a long time when I was playing more ball when I was hitting the streets, but not anymore. But if I can get to 215, I'd be happy. I definitely need to lose about 15 pounds. I'm a little heavy right now. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a weight problem. Everybody struggles with this all the time. And this show was it's sad at times. They showed some young girls that had real problems, and Ozempic or some of these other drugs have saved their lives basically in that situation. But it did feel like an hour-long advertisement. That whole, if it's too good to be true, take this drug and it'll be good. And I just had a flashback to just weight loss drugs. Eventually, they're kind of like speed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really, I don't know the
this
inner
one
workings.
Isn't, though. Yeah.
I'm not a biologist, and if there's someone there that wants to call up and knows more of the chemical makeup of the drug and it's safe, you can check in at 312-591-8300 because I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I just get worried that when it seems too easy to take this thing, now her show is tons of people this morning now are trying to get it.
Well, that's just it. It's not easy to get. There's a shortage. I thought you didn't spend enough time last night talking about that. It's people with prescriptions can't even get it.
Yeah. Somebody checked in 847. Ozempic made me extremely depressed, so I pulled off of it. I got rid of it. And other people checking in too. And when Sean checking in, his mom's diabetic. So if you take that weight loss drug, you're using it up for someone that might really need it.
But that person who's overweight, though, obese, maybe is developing.
That's right.
They just need to have more of it. It should be for weight loss because it works so well.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think they're going to have to crank up production on it so everybody can get it that needs it. But I also read something the other day in the weight loss world that people have hit us up. Well, me and Case were doing our weight loss challenge. I lost a whopping 3.8 pounds in January, and Case lost, I think, 3.2. What'd you lose?
3.1.
And, people would say, you just got to get into fasting. Get in that intermittent fasting. It's going to work. Well, I read last night when I watched the show with Oprah with my wife that intermittent fasting, people that do it in a 20-year study, has showed that you're 50% more likely to die of a cardiovascular disease if you do the fasting thing than people that don't.
I'm glad you said that because I've been reconsidering it because, much like Oprah, one of the many reasons we're alike, I've struggled with my body and my body image for a very long time, and I don't like it, and I'm kind of desperate to do something to change things. My big issue is that you can't outwork a bad diet, and I don't know how to eat well.
Well, abs are made in the kitchen, as they say.
I know, and I don't know how to do that. I go to a grocery store. I want to be a model of health. I wish people listen to this show.
Hit the buzzer. Damn it, it wasn't in front of me.
I want people to listen to this show and think, God, Case is fit.
Could you imagine if all of us had abs on this show?
Which is so important on the radio.
Imagine that billboard.
We were just jacked. If Kenzie came back and she had the biggest arms we've ever seen, she's like, I had a baby, I gained muscle. It was the greatest thing ever. I don't know how to do it. And so I am very much, I'm like an at-risk teen in terms of being, taken away by bad influences because I see stuff like this. Again, I got sucked into this Oprah special in between the Bulls commercial breaks last night, where it's like, oh, maybe I need this. Maybe I need to do something. Maybe I need intermittent fasting. There's a guy who works in this building who preaches intermittent fasting. He's a man who has a lot of influence over me.
Everybody has preached that to me when we were doing our weight loss challenge, and people like to really talk about it and brag about it to you. Like, do this, man. This is it. And now I just read that last night that you're going to die of a heart attack. Maybe not necessarily, but
I want to die of a heart attack anyways. I'd like it to not be because of fasting.
You want to die of a heart attack?
I don't want to, but I know how I am.
What?
So morbid.
Well, I'm a little stressed out.
Well, relax then. Have a hamburger.
Brian, I can't.
I know, that's the issue too. Well, listen, these people checking in, a lot of people, see, everybody's different issue. 219 checked in. I was 388 at 6 foot tall, and I've been on Ozempic for over 6 months, and I've lost 60 pounds with it so far. I haven't had an issue with any kind of side effects.
That's good.
And I'm on my way. Listen, that's perfect. Yeah. I love that. And everybody else will say, like, well, it's all about calories in, calories out. Well, it's not that easy.
If it was that easy, there'd be no one heavy.
Everybody
in
have
this
abs,
world.
including on this show.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know from our listeners at 312-591-8300, what you did to lose weight. Like, what was your, and it can be terrible. Like, for example, I remember one time I ballooned up to 260. And I don't know why I decided to do this. I chose this. It was wrong.
Clearly.
I ate, what were the diet Ruffles called? There was these Ruffles potato chips that were
baked.
They were baked Ruffles.
Yeah.
I ate those for dinner.
That's probably not a good idea.
For a month and a half.
It sounds delicious.
And I lost about 32 pounds. Eating baked Ruffles only for dinner.
Oh, my God.
Well, I dropped alcohol and lost weight. I recommend that as opposed to eating Ruffles for dinner.
Yeah, Karen did it the right way. She gave up sugar 2 months ago, and she gave up alcohol. I'm not doing that either.
Think about that, Brian. I gave up soda, which I've massively cut back on ever since the weight loss challenge. You gave up all alcohol. We didn't lose any weight. How bad is our diet?
And I think I eat pretty decent.
A lot of pinto beans.
Egg whites, protein shakes, a little healthy snacks. The problem is ice cream with me. I can't stop.
And I mean, look, I talk to you more than my own family. You talk to me more than your own family. I spend a lot of time around you. I didn't know how bad your ice cream problem was until January.
Well, as Kenzie pointed out, I don't just eat ice cream. I make a sundae every night.
Yes, yeah, that's
with
no idea.
With fudge, whipped cream,
and even
sprinkles.
in the middle of winter in Chicago?
Every night.
Wow.
Every night. Now, when I stopped it that last week to beat Case, I beat him. I just stopped it for a week, and I lost 3.8 pounds and beat him in the contest.
Good for you.
Because I have a dedication to the game.
Wolverine blood. Built different.
But I'd love to hear from people to tell their success stories and what worked. Because I'm not trying to get everybody. It just seemed a little weird last night. Like there was almost like an hour long.
It was, but you know what was cool about it? She was explaining how it affects your brain, and that's I wasn't until the last 5-10 years. I never understood why someone would take a pill if they were depressed or anxious. But then it affects your brain, those anti-anxiety meds, and I think that's what this GLP stuff does too.
I'd love to hear your hack that you did to lose some weight, and it stayed off. Like mine stayed off. Believe it or not, with that Ruffles diet, it stayed off. I got down to a good weight, and it was gone. And I went back to eating regular stuff.
I had a friend in high school that used to eat Rice Krispie treats for lunch. She's like, "There's no fat."
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Did it work?
No.
Oh, well, that one didn't work. No, don't do that one.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Reminder, coming up at 10 a.m., we will have the Lollapalooza announcement. 10 a.m., right after we get off the air, but we're going to stay on with Lauren and make that announcement of all the bands and the first people in. 4-day passes coming up at 10 a.m. You'll be first to get into Lollapalooza with Q101 and Brian and Kenzie. So we're talking about Oprah's special last night on her weight loss journey and what a struggle she's had and how she's been made fun of, and all facts, by the way. And then she got on Ozempic. She was on Weight Watchers, but got off of it. Got on the drugs. She didn't want a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So she got off, but even had the people from Weight Watchers on the show last night, and she looks amazing now. And they had stories of people that really are struggling and are on it. But I just also felt like for the whole hour, it felt like it was an advertisement.
It kind of did.
This morning, everybody that watched that is calling their doctors, how can I get on this?
Right.
And there's people with diabetes that need that drug too. But of course, some of these people need it too. They should just make more, I guess. They probably will. But also, I don't know if it's safe. We're talking about what you did to lose some weight. Will checked in at 773. I was 65 pounds overweight. I walked 9 miles every morning mowing greens on the golf course.
Oh yeah, that's
I did that.
a lot.
I did that job when I was a kid. I weighed 180. back then.
You were a lawnmower?
I worked in the bag room. I caddied. I cleaned clubs. I changed batteries. I had to go climb a tree to get a club out of there. I had to climb in a lake. Or we'll go walk into the lake.
Climb in a lake?
Well, I had to climb in the lake because the a-hole guy threw a 7-iron in there and says, "Go get it, boy."
Oh,
that's what he said to me.
he better have tipped you.
I got like $10.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You're a rich man at that point.
Yeah.
Well, kids today, when you caddy today, some of these kids make $100 for 18 holes. I was making like $12.
I just can't believe he didn't have a riding mower for his job on a golf course.
Oh, they do have some for golf courses, but when they do the greens, you have to stand and do it because a riding mower will destroy the green.
Oh.
Come on, Kara.
A Dixie chopper mower is like a tank. That's basically war legal. You can't go on a golf course with that.
Are we in Caterpillar country here in Illinois, though?
I was raised in a Dixie chopper household.
Is that Indiana?
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
Hell yeah, brother.
So this guy checked in. Will, I was 65 pounds overweight and walked on the golf course. He blew up recently 30 pounds more, and he got on the Costco diet, which is that we talked about that. I was going to do that, where it's all hot dogs, the Costco hot dog for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Can't be good.
Some guy did it, one of these TikTok guys, and he lost, I think 10 pounds.
Yeah, but what are his arteries like?
I don't know.
I heard they were crystal clean. I heard they were awesome, actually. You had great arteries.
Brittany in Chicago said she lost 15 pounds when they got a puppy because you're always taking them for walks. They didn't, that's a good idea. It's true. I don't go for walks now that I have a cat. That's why I got my cat a stroller. So I can push the stroller with the cat.
You're one of those?
Yeah, well, the cat won't walk otherwise. Try pulling a cat on a leash.
It's the worst. They're like, why? I'm here under the bed. What are you doing to me?
Kara, are you one of those people that had their cat in a stroller and their kid on a leash?
I did not have my kid on a leash.
Okay, all right.
And I always thought those cat with stroller people were ridiculous until
you became
I
one.
I wanted to go for walks.
You were sent to destroy the Sith, not join them.
So we're talking maybe how you lost some weight, because I did it by eating baked Ruffles for dinner for a month and a half. And you know what? I'm not recommending it. It worked. Like, I lost like 20 pounds doing that, and it stayed off at that time. I gained it back a little bit later. But not like, it wasn't because of that. But just, you shouldn't do that. Allison's checking in from Joliet. Allison, ahoy, what's up?
Ahoy.
Hey.
Yes. So I'm not on Ozempic. I'm actually on Wegovy, which is the injectable for weight loss itself.
Okay.
So I've been on that for about 8 months, and I've lost 65 pounds, and I'm still continuing.
Nice.
But I'm
55, you said?
65.
65.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, you go, girl.
Thanks. I had just had a baby a year prior, so I was at my heaviest. So I'm not embarrassed to say I was about 300 pounds, and I've lost 65, and I'm still going.
That's amazing.
That is awesome. That's got to feel incredible to get out of bed and step on the floor, and you're like, I pick up Harper, and she weighs 27 pounds now. So people say I don't work out, but I carry her up steps. That's like carrying a medicine ball around. 27 pounds, 65 pounds gone, man. Do you spring out of bed like one of the Avengers?
I definitely have more energy, but running after a 2-year-old now is definitely helping.
Yeah, they don't sit. They get bored and they keep
No,
walking.
they don't.
So does that medicine get rid of the food noise like Oprah was saying last night?
Absolutely. I don't feel like I have to eat my entire meal. It tells me when I'm full. Now, I've also changed my diet 100% because I actually work in a pharmacy, so I'm very aware on what to and not to do with the medication itself. But I will look at it and I'm like, I'm not going to eat my entire meal. I'm full. But I also drink a ton of water, and I cut out a lot of the junk that I used to eat.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I was raised, we don't waste food in this house, so I finish my plate and everybody else's plate.
Megan, I'll take that. Harper, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you done? You're not. There's a time limit here on dinner. I'm taking your food. Well, that's amazing, Allison. Congratulations, Allison, checking in from Joliet. Thank you. Nick's checking in from Arlington Heights. What's up, ahoy?
Ahoy.
Sorry for losing the Bears Stadium up there. Sorry about that.
I don't think you're responsible for it,
I'm still crossing my fingers for that stadium.
Yeah, we could go run in that park for a while because there's going to be nothing there.
And I actually live like a block from that park, too, so I have to look at nothing until
What's your story, man?
I lost 30 pounds over 3 months. I was 220, and I got all the way down to 190.
See, that's what I need to do. You're in my world there.
What'd you do?
I actually hired a nutritionist and a personal trainer.
Oh, boy. That sounds
And
expensive.
everything was planned out to a T, like what I had to eat and what I could not eat.
Nice.
Okay, so I need to do that, but is it expensive?
No, my guy only costs like $75 a month. I
Ooh.
actually found him at my gym. He's a professional bodybuilder. And then I was eating 5 times a day, and I had to work out at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
That raises an interesting question.
What is expensive?
Do you trust a cheap nutritionist?
Well,
You'd love to get a deal, but
yeah.
I don't know if I trust anybody under $100 either.
Kate, it worked, so I don't know what to tell you.
All right, keep checking in with your weight loss journey. Also, I thought 75 was expensive. I don't know why I think something's going to be $10 a month.
You're going to save it in junk food, though.
I know, but I don't. I'm waiting to hear like it's only $7 a month, and I'm cool.
But
I'm
he's
in.
right. That probably won't work if it's only $7 a month.
No, there you go. Keep checking in. 312-591-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and got some news here. Very sad. One of the places we've talked about on the air, Kenzie specifically, because it's her regular place, it's her neighborhood place, that the Elgin Public House is going up for sale after the owner announced retirement.
It's like everything I love dies. That's how I feel. It's like, it's the worst. Every time I like something, it goes away, it dies, it gets canceled, like everything.
Well, it's
like,
funny.
I really liked R. Kelly. It sucked for me. It sucked for everybody else, too, but like, that was a big bummer.
Well, you were one of the victims in the grand scheme of things.
I was like, this sucks. I can't listen to any of the things I like.
So unlike the Elgin Public House, R. Kelly did it to himself. But this guy seems like a great guy, Greg Shannon, and he just wants to retire.
I thought you meant R. Kelly. I'm like, he's not.
Oh, yeah.
Ship has sailed. We can't like him.
It's too bad because R. Kelly can't afford to buy the public house and keep it open up there in Elgin, being locked up.
I don't think I'd want to know what happens when he owned it.
Could you imagine if R. Kelly bought the Elgin Public House and was like, guys, I'm doing a residency. Every night, Elgin Public House, I'm there.
I would be so conflicted internally.
He turns it into the I Believe I Can Fly public house.
God.
So, this guy fulfilled his lifelong dream of opening a restaurant in Elgin, and it was open 17 years.
I know, and the food's so good. And so I know him, and he's the nicest guy. I just met him because I go to the restaurant a lot, because I'm like, you know how like cases with bands?
Yes.
I'm like that with food. So
Okay.
I really like, I'm like, oh my God, guess what's opening? Or guess who has a special tonight? Like, I get really excited. So I go there a lot, and he also does these really cool dinner tastings because he loves to cook. He loves food too. And he has these curated nights that he does paired with like different alcohol from around the world, or he does like Italian night, and he makes all these dishes based off his favorite chefs, and it's like all of the things I love are going away.
Well, hopefully it's not. Like he is putting it up for sale, so it's unlike some places when the guy retires, they want to close it down, give the family the recipes. So correct me if I'm wrong, Kenzie, because you know him. Does he have any sons or daughters that don't want to keep the business open and they have their own lives and don't want to get in the restaurant business, maybe?
I think that, so they like to travel a lot.
Okay.
So I know that they're gone like a substantial part of the year.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming like, I think they just want to be like grandparents and travel and, bounce around. So they're not going to be there enough anymore.
Yeah,
to make
that's
sure everything's going
I
good.
know, because it sucks. It seems like in Chicago, there's been a lot of things lately that have closed, and they like no one in the family wanted to keep it going, and that's too bad because these are great places that are going under, and Elgin Public House might be one of them unless he can find someone to sell it, and it sounds like he's willing to keep it as it is, just someone else own it.
I am so praying that happens. I need someone to go in there and just copy and paste because the business does really well. So I just it's so upsetting for me.
You want to hear something wild about this guy you might not know, Kenzie?
What?
So he worked his life in restaurants at the age of 12. By the time he was in high school, he was managing 6 Pizza Huts.
Oh, my God.
Wait, did you say by the time he was 12?
No.
What'd you say?
He's been in restaurants since he was 12, but let's say he was 15 or 16 managing 6 Pizza Huts.
Oh, I think it's 12. I'm like, I don't know if it was illegal. Wow.
And Pizza Huts are like well-oiled machines. That's not an easy restaurant to manage.
But can you imagine being like 15 and yelling at some guy 40 in the kitchen? Like
you're in like algebra, but you're sweating the sausage delivery later today.
Okay, you know what? And think about it. It's really gone downhill since he left because Pizza Hut used to be awesome. And he's got to be in like his 50s or 60s. So this is like the old school Pizza Hut when they had like a salad bar. Do you remember that Pizza Hut?
Yes, I do.
So honestly, since he's left, things have just really fell apart.
Do you remember, Kenzie, because you're probably... I don't think Brian would know this, but do you remember the Pizza Hut reading challenge?
Yes.
Yeah. Think about how integral Pizza Hut used to be in our society. They provided
in our school.
Yeah. they encouraged us to read. They gave us salad And then they gave us pizza. They basically kept the economy going.
Amen. You know, they've done a lot for us. Domino's could never.
Oh, let's not give them all that.
And it was my first time having stuffed crust.
So
also a pretty big deal.
It's a chance they invented the stuffed crust, right?
I believe so.
Because
Did they invent it? Seriously?
Well, I shouldn't say that because stuffed crust pizza, I believe Nancy's Pizzeria here in Chicago invented the stuffed crust pizza. I'll have to go back and see the years on that. Pizza Hut probably ripped them off. That's all I'm guessing.
That's a tough label. You just said they invented it, and then 2 seconds later, you saying they ripped off a family business.
I wanted to recant my statement.
That took a big turn. That was a big swing, Brian.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we were just talking about how the Elgin Public House is now for sale. So anybody that's got money and wants to have a great operation that's just turnkey, I like to say, you go in there and you kill it because Kenzie, it's her local spot, and the guy and
so sad.
and the owner's retiring, so it's up for sale. It could be. I'm sure it doesn't just serve Kenzie in that area. I'm sure it serves a lot of people.
There's plenty of people there.
Yeah. You always say it's packed, so it's doing well. And this led us to a conversation about, Pizza Hut somehow. How did we get to Pizza Hut? Oh, because the owner managed 6 Pizza Huts when he was in high school.
And then we talked about how Pizza Hut, between the reading challenge and the salad bar and just the overall good pizza, far more valuable to the U.S. economy than I think people realize.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then we were thinking maybe they invented it. And I changed quickly
you said they invented stuffed crust pizza. And I said, oh my God, really? And then you said, no, Nancy's did. Which was it was a really weird, I don't know what happened.
I had no filter. I was just thinking out loud. I was brainstorming, trying to figure out who invented stuffed crust pizza.
So you were wrong twice.
No. Well, you tell me. You just Googled really quickly who invented stuffed crust pizza.
Okay, so it says, however, in 1987, several years before Pizza Hut chains began selling these slices, Anthony Mangiello was the one who created stuffed crust pizza. He was a young boy. He was known by his friends as the Big Cheese.
Oh.
At
Of course
18
he was.
years old, he was making a pizza at the request of a friend's mom, which is kind of weird, right? And he overestimated how much dough he needed, ended up making a pie with an enormous puffy crust, and he stuffed some cheese up in that thing.
Is that what it says up in that thing?
No, I paraphrased at the end.
Okay.
Got a little wordy for me.
So does it have a year on that or no?
In 1987. I said it at the beginning.
Okay, sorry. Because here we go. Because I went to Nancy's Pizzeria. Now, Nancy's is stuffed pizza, not stuffed crust pizza, but they invented it in 1971.
Pizza? What does that mean?
So, it's like deep dish, and then there's stuffed pizza, which people, sometimes even in Chicago, don't realize those are two different things, even though they kind of taste the same.
Well,
But-
I mean, all of it kind of tastes the same. We're going with the, once it gets in the mouth. Well, because it's the same, like 3 ingredients. It doesn't matter. The layers don't matter that much. But wait.
So a good segue for today is once it gets in the mouth, it all tastes the same.
But what's stuffed pizza?
So the cheese is stuffed. I don't know what it is exactly. I was going to go on this thing like I know what it is exactly.
Oh, God.
But I know that Nancy's is top 5 pizza in Chicago without question. But they say that the founders, Rocco and Nancy Polisi, invented it in 1971 when they opened up Nancy's Pizzeria.
So
It's not Pelosi?
No,
It's
not Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi did not invent stuffed pizza.
But speaking of Nancy Pelosi, here's how this is going to come full circle.
I don't believe you.
What?
So Nancy's created the stuffed pizza in 1971.
Yeah.
Stuffed crust pizza was invented in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Hut introduced the stuffed crust pizza to market in 1995, and they helped launch it with the campaign featuring Donald Trump.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, not as president, though. Pre-president.
No, wait. Way pre-president. This is just way pre-apprentice.
This is pre-apprentice.
This is pre-everything.
He was just
Who
bankrupting
used Donald
buildings at this
Trump
point.
pre-apprentice? That's odd.
Well, he was famous before The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he had that little cameo in Home Alone.
That wasn't the only thing that made him famous.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So we're talking about the Elgin Public House closing. The owner's retiring, but somebody's going to buy and keep it open because it's a quality restaurant. That's Kenzie's spot. And then it led to a conversation on pizza and stuffed crust.
And how Pizza Hut fueled the U.S. economy.
Yes. How'd they do that with the Book It program?
The Book It program. So 847 here, they checked in. First-time texter, which I love that this is the first text they've ever sent us.
Love you.
I love that. They explained it perfectly. For those that don't know what Brian, Kenzie, and I were just talking about, the Book It program was a Pizza Hut reading program where you had to read 5 books and get a star sticker on a Book It pen. You would then take your pen to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza.
That's amazing.
God, that's good. I want that now.
I kind of missed this window because I was too old for the Book It program when it came out.
I don't think there's an age limit. I think you can still do it.
Damn it. If anybody works at Pizza Hut, do they still do it?
Yeah, they do. Our text line lit up with people saying they still do it, which I didn't even know.
Okay, well, Aaron checked in from 219 to go on further. He says, I grew up really poor, and my mom used to cheat the system by saying we read the books to get the free personal pans. That's probably why they did away with it, LOL.
Wow.
But it doesn't seem like they got away with it. It just seems like it's still active.
It's probably on an app now.
Can I read cliff notes of books?
Well, you've been reading an Elon Musk biography since before he owned Twitter. I think you can count that and move on and find 4 other books to read.
God, I want a personal pan pizza right now.
Well, you know my secret about pan pizzas, right?
I'm not sure.
Go to the Pizza Hut inside the Target.
Okay, yes.
That is the best pizza there is. That's the best pizza in the city.
No,
it's the Pizza Hut inside the Target.
Shut the hell up.
It's the best.
You're a moron. I'm going to throw it out the window.
We're throwing it out the window.
Another irrational pizza conversation. Listen, Case brought up there was the old Donald Trump Pizza Hut commercial about pan pizza.
About stuffed crust pizza.
Stuffed crust.
He kicked off in 1995 the Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza marketing campaign.
Now, this is pre-president, way pre-apprentice.
This is different. This is a different person.
This is when this was just Donald Trump. This is a rich guy in New York with his wife Ivanka, sadly passed away recently. Rest in peace. But here's that commercial.
Do you really think this is the right thing for us to be doing, Ivana?
What do people think?
Let them talk.
Donald.
Ivana. It's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Large, just $9.99.
Because it was a famous rich divorce.
Yeah.
And so, that's amazing that they went with that.
That's the power of Pizza Hut. Again, we disrespect them as an entity far too often.
Yeah, that's a great commercial.
It really is.
I need to get some pan pizza right now.